If you're Mitt Romney, what voter are you going to want to talk to most? Latinos, he's behind. I think Obama has a 70% share of those voters so far. He's behind with women. I think the gap is something like 18%. African Americans seemingly have largely written off Mitt Romney's candidacy. If you're Mitt Romney, who do you want to talk to?
I don't think debates are going to be well used for kind of slicing and dicing the electorate in that way. I don't think they lend themselves to that. You're talking to a very broad group of people. And by the way, you're not voters. If people are tuning into debates, people who care about the election, are paying a lot of attention, by and large have their minds made up. Let me make one broad point here on sort of the way we have a tendency to talk about debates. They're not, I think we're talking a lot about, are they good debaters? How do they come off? What have their zingers been like? What about when they've gone to heated confrontations in the past? To a large degree, and of course I would say this, but I think this debate is going to be defined and in the end driven by how good their actual answers are on their policies, and that has a relationship to how good their actual policies are and how much they're able to say about them. Because what Mitt Romney and Barack Obama have been in a room doing for months now is coming up with ways to highlight what they see as the weaknesses in the other guy's platform. And you know, that's true for Obama on taxes, but also going to be very heavily true on Romney's budget promises, which are somewhat hard to make work. You know, you're dealing with $7 trillion in cuts over 10 years. You'd have to cut everything that's not Medicare and Social Security by 40%. For Romney, you're dealing with the need to somehow connect what has happened in the economy, which many people are willing to say, look, it was a really bad time, and Obama did his best, even if we're not in a perfect position today, with some level of Obama's leadership. He's got to somehow convince people that the reason we're in a rough position today is because Obama didn't do a good enough job. And so I do think a lot of what's going to end up driving this is, and this is what's good about debates, because these are smart guys who've been figuring out the best cases to make against one another, is really what are the best cases and how well do these policies stand up to that kind of a light of day. One thing both of these guys have had, because in interviews when you're the president or you're the incumbent, you can really just decline to answer questions, as they often do, or say as Paul Ryan did the other day. The math takes a long time, and I bet your ratings wouldn't be good for it. You know, we're having long 15-minute blocks, and Obama and Romney are going to press each other and keep pressing each other, and nobody's going to be able to say, oh, well, this just isn't the time. I've decided not to tell you at this moment. They need to come up with something.
And 90 minutes, I would say, Nia, just very quickly, 90 minutes when in a Republican presidential primary debate or a Democratic one, we've got 8, 9 people on the stage, isn't a lot. 90 minutes with 2 people, to Ezra's point. You can't, there is nowhere to run and hide in 90 minutes with just 2 people.
Do you think people are going to be able to stay awake for this debate beyond the first 30 minutes?
I mean, I think the first, let me say, the first 30 minutes and it tend to be important, but I would say in general, so much of this is not viewed. I mean, look, millions and millions of people watch this live, but I think in the after action analysis, they're going to watch clips, they're going to watch it on YouTube, they're going to see it socially. So I think the whole debate matters because it drives kind of the coverage, but I do think that people are going to come to this, particularly younger folks are going to come to this in ways where they may not watch the whole thing beginning to end. Certainly from 9 to 10:30 tonight, they may watch it later, they may watch it tomorrow, they may watch it in clips. So I think the kind of splintering of how people view these things may change the kind of broader, this person won, this person didn't, this point was good, this point, because the coverage afterward is not going to be the 90 minutes of the debate. It's going to be 3 minutes of what people view to be the newsiest part of the debate.